The Archdiocese of Chicago is a vibrant and diverse faith community. We celebrate our faith through worship, evangelization, and reaching out to the needy. Welcome to Catholic Chicago.
Not to be served, but to serve, to give my life, if you wish, to be the first you must seek, to be a servant, to be
Welcome to Diakonia, a call to service. Diakonia is the Greek word for service and also the root word for deacon. When we're together, we have featured guests on the show who are engaged in the call to service, reminding us each of our own call to service as baptized Christians. With us today, and with me always, is Deacon Dave Brinsick, Associate Director for the Permanent Diaconate. Dave, how are you?
Fine, Jim. Yourself?
All right, and I'm Deacon Jim Norman, Vicar for Deacons for the Archdiocese of Chicago. I serve at Our Lady of Sorrows Basilica on the west side of Chicago. And Deacon Dave?
At Holy Guardian Angels in Brookfield, LaGrange Park.
Wonderful. We're excited today to be with you and to have as our guest another deacon, Deacon Don Grossnickle, who is the founder and executive director of Microfinance Alliance African Projects Foundation, a mouthful, called the MAAPFoundation. Deacon Don, thank you for being with us today.
Inviting.
We're excited to have you here to talk about your work with the MAAPFoundation. But first, I think Deacon Dave wanted to ask some questions to have our audience to get an opportunity to know you a bit better.
Well, welcome, Don. Thank you for being with us this morning. So, could you tell us a little bit about yourself? When were you ordained, the parish that you're ministering at?
I'll be glad to. Thank you, Dave. Well, I think my story will connect to the program today. In 1981, my wife and our third child was in the hospital ready to deliver, and a medical mishap happened, and both of them almost died. And through the miracle intervention of the medical staff, they both survived. And from 1981 to 85, I think I discerned what could I do to repay God for this blessing. So in 1985, I started deacon training with Kathy, my wife, and our three kids, at that particular point in time, made up our family. In 1981, I was ordained to serve Our Lady of the Wayside in Arlington Heights. In 2003, basically after serving the community from ordination to 2003, I worked for the office of the vicar in Vicariate 1. I was the vicar for persons with physical disabilities and worked downtown at the office for disabilities there, and have been basically working as a parish deacon at Our Lady of the Wayside in Arlington Heights ever since until 2013, when I went to Africa, and I'll be telling you more about that story later. But we're a family of three. I'm 76 at this point. Our children are raised, and it's been a glorious experience at Our Lady of the Wayside, working in community. I was a high school administrator, a college professor, and I think that's pretty much a little bit of background for you.
Thanks for that, Deacon. So what happened in 2013 during your trip to Africa?
Well, a priest in the making came from Mundelein Seminary to Our Lady of the Wayside, and my job as a deacon was to help him become a deacon on his way to priesthood. And so Father John Bosco Sakumo and I became good friends. At the time he was ready to be ordained, he went back to Africa, Uganda, Kampala Diocese, and invited me to come celebrate his first village priest celebration. I went with my daughter, and did pretty much tourism things there, went on safari, took Father John as a gift to his ordination, a safari. And during the time of driving around in Africa, we stopped in a clinic, and I had a second calling during that time where I saw the healing presence of Christ, basically helping about 6 mothers and babies that were dying of malaria, or we could say that they were being healed of malaria. I came home and asked the question, what can one person do here in the United States? And through prayer, came up with trying to do some things. I started with asking friends and parishioners to send money over, and then realized that there were other things that could be done, more long-lasting, sustainable, and began to organize a 501c3 that took a while. But I worked in a clinic called Nachifuma with a woman called Mother Teo, and we began the whole experience of microfinance, which is getting some money and then allowing the money to grow through a agribusiness, and through the money that was gained, they could serve more and more mothers and babies that could not be served otherwise. About 70% of the people that come to Uganda clinics cannot afford to be treated. So through the grace of God and Catholic parishes, they have their own little clinics. So that's kind of the starting point of how I became involved with one clinic, and it's been a glorious experience since, and I'll be glad to tell you more.
So the foundation then was actually formed in what year?
It took a while to form it. It was formed in 2018.
2018, and you started out, that was one clinic at the time. How many clinics now are you supporting with the microfinance efforts?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm very happy to say that at the present moment we have 21 clinics that have been projects that have grown from that first clinic.
So that's in 6 years. That's really, really impressive.
And what kind of services are they providing, Don?
Well, we have 50 million people in Uganda. I'm connected basically through those 21 projects. There's actually 33. There's 21 agribusiness microfinance institutions going. But what it amounts to is in each of the clinics, mothers and babies in particular cannot afford to be treated. Malaria is epidemic there. And so in a given day, a Catholic clinic, we might imagine in a local parish here, that instead of a school or in addition to a school, they operate a clinic. And as many as 10 mothers and babies come who can't afford to pay. And my mission then basically is to organize an agribusiness that can, through pigs or through poultry or fish, start a business and produce money. And from that money, a charity is formed, a charity account is formed. And much like St. Vincent de Paul, monies are distributed to eligible individuals who couldn't pay and are treated that way.
So just for our audience, just a dive a bit into the notion of microfinance, as you said. So the foundation funds the business, and the agricultural business, you said it could be pigs, fish, cattle, or cows? Chicken?
Yes,
Chickens?
yes. We actually started with cows.
Okay.
And it's not a new concept, microfinance. Our concept is rather unique, however. We fundraise for $5,000 here in the U.S., basically through our website and through word of mouth. And with $5,000, a local parish will form a proposal to us. We study the proposals, and they will use half of it about to build a pigsty or to a chicken coop, and then the rest of the money that comes, they buy the livestock. and they operate a little farm. The unique part about this is that the $5,000 that I pass along to our board of directors here is invested then in the farm, sustainable farm. The monies each month then are peeled off and they go to the charity, and they can serve the individuals. But the best part of our story is that the people who invest that $5,000, okay, do not ask for anything in return, which is a typical microfinance. So microfinance is a beginning, a middle, and an end. The end is that they're paid back. The payback for our work is simply through our website, through emails, through our newsletter. So we inform those who contribute, basically showing them progress. So all the monies that are made, and now we have some that are 10 years in the running. Our first project started off as a pig farm, a $5,000 pig farm, donated entirely by St. Raymond Parish in Mount Prospect during a Lenten appeal. And they gave us $5,000. We started a pig farm, and each month as much as $300, okay, comes off of that pig farm sustainably to treat mothers and babies that come who can't afford to pay.
You mentioned 21 projects. In any sense of how many mothers and babies have been serviced by the clinics established by these projects?
Well, it's a great question. The average bill of a mother that comes might be somewhere in the order of $3 US. All right, but for a delivery of a baby, that can be as much as $25. Okay, for the expenses involved. So it's hard to say. We like to show our donors that we hope that each month $300 would be raised from the farm, which might take care of if they're $3 hospital fees unpaid, that's $100 a month. So $100 a month for 12 months is 1,200 individuals that their lives are saved through whatever medical interventions we offer. And if we multiply 21 times the 1,200, you begin to see that from a mustard seed concept, from one little parish clinic, we are serving thousands. And we have thousands more planned. We have 21 right now moving. We have asking for funds to help us. Our goal is in the next year or two to move to 30. We have a waiting list of maybe 15 to 20. As I mentioned earlier, Deacon, we have 6 bishops in 19 dioceses in Uganda. And even though I'm a permanent deacon assigned to the Archdiocese, I am helping those bishops do their work. And I'm also hoping that they're watching what permanent deacons can do. They have a surplus of priests. They don't have any permanent deacons in Uganda. So I'm trying to show them, what we can do together, priests, deacons, laity, and I'm the right hand of bishops that the Archbishop of Chicago allows me to both serve my parish and also to work full-time, non-paid, to the 21 and for more and more of these clinics that will continue to be funded and grow.
Before we go to break, I was just going to ask, I saw so the goal is for 9 more projects. The goal is $45,000 to $50,000 is the goal that you have over the next 12 to 18, 24 months?
Yes. The money is just like Scripture seems to come. Empty vessels are filled one at a time. The appeals go out, and special projects like we'll be talking about with the Deacon Patrick Sheehan project come along, which are even bigger. But yes, we hope that the continuing several hundred donors will continue to donate, and new donors will be attracted as Deacon Don goes to various parishes and talks, particularly during Lent, and asks them to join our work. Recently, we had St. Edna's join us in Arlington Heights, and also continuing work from St. Raymond's in Mount Prospect, and St. James now will be talking about how they have rallied to help the Deacon Patrick Sheehan Clinic.
Okay. This is a great time for us to take a break. When we come back, I'd love to get one of your most memorable experiences as a story, and we'll talk about the Deacon Patrick Sheehan Clinic.
Sounds great.
Baptized like I have been baptized. Are you able? Are you able?
I am a seminarian.
The church needs compassionate and well-trained priests to help guide each of us through life.
What inspires me, what draws me always to the priesthood is continue to see priests be a beacon of hope for other people.
You can play a part in the education of these young men as they prepare for a life of service to others.
I want to be that beacon of hope too, and it sets my heart on fire.
To support our seminarians, make your gift at archchicago.org/seminarian fund or call 312-534-7959.
People always say, how can you spend your day with 3-year-olds? Seeing the changes that they go through and just the journey and how they grow, this is a very rewarding job. Even though at the end of the day, we're not the highest paid people on earth. And when I have a parent contact me and say, my child loves school, that to me, I'm setting that foundation for their love of learning. Because really, you are changing lives, you are molding lives.
Shape the next generation of leaders. Teach. Apply today at archchicago.org/schooljobs.
Not to be served, but to serve, to give my life, if you wish.
Welcome back to Diakonia. Deacon Jim Norman, Vicar for Deacons with the Archdiocese of Chicago, with my co-host, Deacon Dave Brinsick, Associate Director for the Permanent Diaconate. Our guest today is Deacon Don Grossnickle, who is the founder and Executive Director for the MAAPFoundation. Before we went to break, you were sharing the history and the accomplishments of the foundation, which are really phenomenal. We wanted to just continue that conversation and talk a little bit about the Patrick Sheehan Project. I think Dave had a couple of questions for you for us to begin.
So Don, we're wondering, what kind of reaction, what kind of response have you received from the people in St. James and St. Raymond's as to this work?
Well, I think they're surprised. And the longer that I'm with them and showing them the videos on our website, they are very impressed, and they are very generous in support. I think the payback of contributing to something so direct, so that every dollar that is contributed is going to a mother and baby to save their lives, is very impressive. So I'm increasingly happy to show them. It's my privilege to show all of the miracles that happen, and each new person that joins us becomes part of the miracle worker kingdom of God. So it's beautiful. Their reaction is very encouraging for me.
And over the years that you've been involved with this, Don, is there one experience that kind of stands out for you that's been very memorable?
Well, I think I want to go back to the fact that my second calling, if you will, is to connect my work as a medical missionary, to the saving of my own wife and son. So that's very dear and tender to my heart. I didn't plan on going to Africa and becoming a medical missionary. But when I saw the work that was done there, I came home and asked God through prayer, what can one person do? And God said, get started. and help one place. So I've seen that mustard seed grow in Nachifuma with Mother Tio. And because it was so successful, what they could do with the pig farm that we started, it's continued to grow. And it grew and grew and eventually became from, they were bankrupt and they got solid in terms of finances. More and more people came. Eventually, we raised $25,000 and we equipped a fully equipped surgery center. So today, when mothers, have to face the problem of a breech birth, for instance, they can have a surgeon recruited who can come in and operate and save the babies and the mother's life. So to see the progression from bankruptcy to a level 4 clinic, from level 1 to level 4 through our work is very gratifying. And that's what started basically what I'll call a movement. If we can do it in one place, we talked to several bishops and we asked if we could start in their diocese. And that's how we grew from one and continues to operate that one, and we keep growing. The response, I have to mention, Dave and Deacon Jim, is that these local clinics don't want to turn anybody away. And it's very, very difficult. They are already doing their job. And as many as 10 mothers and babies might have to be turned away unless we help them. So you can imagine how happy they are that they no longer have to be the kinds of persons that would close their door and say, I'm sorry, we don't have enough money for medicine. We don't have enough money for any staff. So it's a very happy work that we do. And every new clinic that we add makes me more happy. And more people are joining me, and it's evangelization. That people are feeling very good that our church is reaching out and seeing the successes is so beautiful.
Wonderful.
You spoke about reaching out and successes. Can you tell us a little bit about the latest project, the Deacon Patrick Sheehan Clinic?
Yes, I'll be happy to. Deacon Patrick Sheehan and I and his wife Midge, Deacon Sheehan was he died a few months ago, and he was very involved with me and our work in Uganda. Before he passed away, he had made a commitment to come and join my board of directors. So I went to Deacon Patrick's funeral. It was absolutely astounding. The church was packed, and he was greatly loved. I came up with the idea through prayer of how we could continue Patrick's work, even though he was not going to be able to work with me further. And I came up with the idea that happened the same day or the day after. I got a request from Kasese, Uganda, for $20,000 to build a maternity and pediatric clinic. And I put the two of them together, and I approached the deacons at St. James, and I said, there were 4. And I said, do you think you could work with me right now and talk to the people of St. James, and we could raise $20,000 and establish the Deacon Patrick Sheehan Maternity and Pediatric Clinic in Kasese? And that's the beginning, the middle, and the end of the story. The answer is yes, they did. We exceeded the goal. We had $5,000 contributed from the children of St. Raymond's School that started the project off with a down payment. They got the money basically by a school project during Lent earlier this year. And at the end of the day, $30,000 has been raised to build this clinic. And as a matter of fact, today I sent the first 5,000 across. The foundation is now under construction. The bricks have been are in the process of being purchased. And between now and December, the Sheehan Clinic will be a memorial to him, a living memorial to my good friend, Patrick Sheehan, and so grateful to the people, particularly in St. James, who rallied. And it's a marvelous example of how one little seed can grow into a nest so large that the Lord is going to make hundreds of people. It's in Rwenzori Mountains. a place where floods and mudslides and terrorism has plagued the people. The great joy that's happened there. I've already done a pig farm and a poultry farm there. We've reached out to the families of those that were murdered by machetes about a year ago as Congo rebels came across the border and came to a secondary school, locked the doors, and then murdered the children. So we have a great kinship to Kasese and to Bishop Kabira and work with him and the clergy there. So there is great hope there, and all I can say is that my heart is leaping with joy on behalf of Deacon Sheehan. His deacon work continues.
It's fantastic. So when the clinic will actually be completed and up and running by when?
Well, we're hoping by December. Their construction is not exactly like the U.S. They're a little slower, but they have every intention to finish by December.
And I wanted to, in the time we have remaining, I wanted to just identify for our audience, if you could, ways that they could help and support your efforts with the foundation.
Well, I would invite everyone, including thanking the deacons of the Archdiocese for a substantial contribution a while ago. It's very encouraging. They can go to our website, MAAPFoundation.org, and contribute online. And instructions there, contributions can be done by check. And I just want to make this statement. It's going to sound a little strange, but I'm more interested in people becoming connected with us than I am, necessarily in their money. Okay, so that they can see their affiliation and join with me and the hundreds now that are seeing progress and come grow with us. Come be a part of it. Come see the satisfaction on our website, through our videos, through our emails that are going to be coming, and see the great satisfaction that you can have besides what you're doing here in the U.S. Okay, and see in a country of Uganda, a new and emerging country of 50 million who really, particularly the women, need our help.
Deacon, we want to thank you for being with us today on Diakonia. It's a powerful story of hearing and heeding God's call to service, one that was initially based in what could have been a possible tragedy. You have made a life-giving effort through the MAAP Foundation for many others. We want to bless you and your work and all that you're doing. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Don.
Thank you both very much. Thank you to the audience.
God bless.
Can you drink the cup that I must drink? Are you willing? Can you be baptized like I have been baptized? Are you able? Are you